I'm Cathy Thomas. Alfonso Ramirez, executive chef at Leatherby's Cafe Rouge in Costa Mesa, joins me to prepare his luscious duck breast, served with irresistible accompaniments. Just the thought of it makes me hungry. Oh, Chef, I love duck breasts, and your accompaniments are so interesting.
We're doing carrot braised steel oats with roasted cipollini onions and huckleberry jus.
Sweet sour heaven. Let's get started.
All right. We're gonna dice this onion for the steel oats. Come across.
You make it look easy, Chef.
Yeah, wow, it's a lot of years cutting onions and crying while people are yelling at me. In one of these pans right here, and we're gonna get these going.
Do you have a favorite brand of steel cut oats?
You know what? I get these over at Trader Joe's.
Yeah?
I don't know the brand, but it comes in a little tin. They have a beautiful texture to them. You could add some garlic to it if you like. And actually, we use shallots, so this time I'm using a little bit of onion. So once that's nice and translucent, you will add your steel oats, and you'll sweat those out for a little bit. You don't want any color on them, and then add a little salt, tiny bit of pepper, and then we'll add our carrot juice.
What does the carrot juice bring to the dish?
It brings a little sweetness. It's not really a play on a duck à l'orange, but it kind of is. So, you know, it's almost like the same flavor profile.
And for those of us that think about food seasonally, it's nice that you're bringing orange into a fall dish.
Absolutely. Get it going to almost a boil, and then you'll just let it simmer.
And can I do this in advance?
Absolutely, yeah. Advance is probably the best way to go. Next, we're gonna do the duck.
All right, bring it on.
The question is always, where can I get duck, right? I mean, you can't just find duck breasts everywhere. Wild Fork.
Everything's frozen, so there's no waste.
Yeah, and I'm not plugging Wild Fork, I don't work for them, but it's kind of a fun place to get some very interesting product. You definitely want to have it at room temp is another trick.
It's kind of a good rule for all red meat, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And then on the back side, score the duck, but you don't want to hit the meat. So we're just gonna kind of go very lightly.
Nice, sharp knife.
Over there. And then you want to just come across this way. With duck, you obviously want to render the fat. So you want your pan not scorching hot. You don't want it super low. You kind of want it in between. We'll get a little salt on here. Season heavily on the skin. Gonna get nice and crunchy. It's gonna be
I just love it.
Yeah. You don't need a whole lot of oil. The skin's gonna render out a lot of fat. We're just gonna get that in there. We'll season on the backside, and we'll just let that go slow and low. And you can just kind of peek at it every little once in a while, make sure it's not getting too much color. You probably have that in the pan for, say, about 4 or 5 minutes. Pop that in the oven, 350, 400, for about 11 minutes, and then let it rest for a little bit. I'm gonna add a little thyme to this. Watch out, it's gonna pop a little bit, and then I can add the cipollini onions in here, just face down. A little salt, a little pepper, and we're gonna show you what the duck looks like. You know, it's almost there.
Oh, it's beautiful,
it's getting there. Maybe we'll put a little piece of garlic in there too, why not?
Why
Sounds
not?
like fun.
Sounds like good to me.
Yeah, and then we'll pop this in the oven.
All right.
Next, we're gonna do the huckleberries. If you can't get huckleberries, what we're talking about, you can do raspberries, blueberries.
Now, you can get huckleberries online, frozen.
Oh, yeah. This is
You
probably the
just
best way to go.
want that kind of a sour, sweet element.
Absolutely. We add a little vinegar and a little bit of honey, and we'll cook these down for about 15 minutes. And we'll make this compote, and then we'll split it, and then we'll blend it, and then we'll mix it back together. So it's a little bit, like a jam.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
All right, so cipollini onions are cooked. The duck is right about there. We're gonna trim this up a little bit now, and we're gonna have some fun. A little nubbin of butter right there.
All right.
And then we're just gonna move that to the back. And if these are soft enough for you, you can pull these out. I like to leave them in there a little bit. I like them as soft as possible. And then we're just gonna baste that a little bit. We're just gonna cover that up.
What tip do you want on that duck breast?
I like it rosé, like a medium rare to medium. All right. I think that looks good. And then we're gonna add a little mascarpone to this too also.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the mascarpone.
Yeah, we gotta add a little mascarpone to it. It just kind of creams it out a little bit and makes it just a little bit more delicious.
Do you know what a wonderful day it was for home cooks when mascarpone appeared in supermarkets?
Oh, now it's,
Oh,
look
yeah.
at that. It's nice and creamy.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So I'm gonna slice the duck. It's already rested.
I want to point something out here. You notice that chef didn't put it skin side up to cut it.
No, no, it's gonna be a little bit easier to do it on the flesh side. Steel oats here. A little bit of the huckleberry. Just some dollops around.
Oh, yeah.
Couple cipollini onions.
And those cipollini look absolutely gorgeous.
We'll grab our duck. A little fleur de sel.
And some fleur de sel.
A little bit of the radish. It gives us some nice texture. So we'll put a little parsley over here.
Look at that, chef. It's absolutely gorgeous. I can hardly wait to dig in.
I can't.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Here's a quick tip from Melissa's. We know that kale is good for us, but this leafy green can also be delicious. Honest. Whether you use the curly leaf variety or the Tuscan kale. Okay, ready? Start by removing the central stalk. Cup your hands around that stalk and then just move forward. Kale is delicious with beans and sausage. Chop and cook the kale with garlic and a little water. When tender, add 1 can of cannellini beans. And for a nice zip, a couple of tablespoons of red wine vinegar, salt and pepper, and some spicy hot Italian sausage, cooked and crumbled. Spoon it up.